Everybody wants to be an astronaut. Take the long, tall trail to the sun.
Howdy everyone, and welcome back to more for the Golden Path International Tour, being sponsored by Unfussable Narrative. I am your host and commentator, the BlackShadow, and we are beginning our coverage of the semi-finals. Out of the 160 players to sit down for this competition, just 16 remain, and out playing for their spots in next week's grand final. It's been a grueling tournament. We've seen a lot of good players go, but still quite a lot remain here. And now things are as simple as they're ever going to get. With our 4 semi-final matches remaining, it's straightforward. The winners of all 4 of these games will make their way to the grand final. We played live here on Hidden Assets on March 19th, and playing for the lion's share of the $1,000 prize pool for the competition. Everyone who makes the second place in these games, however, will find themselves in the runner-up playoffs, when there's still $100 up for grabs for the winner of that match. So nothing to sniff at, and I think walking away with that after an event like this, I'd be pretty happy with that, for playing some Dune Imperium. But at this point, it now no longer matters what happens in any of the other matches. These are all self-contained. There's no tie-breaking across games, anything like that. The only thing that matters at this point is the match you are playing in. We'll start our look at Heretic D, who came second in Group R. Had a very, very combative group, to be fair, but managing to just about squeak ahead of Green Flame for automatic qualification. Heretic comes off back-to-back wins in the knockouts as well, with 2 crazy matches, winning the match A, the very first match of the round of 14, playing as Memnon of all people, a bizarre, crazy match that, which I call with Lannister, one of the best calls of the entire competition. And then in the quarterfinals, also winning in quarterfinal A, riding the wave of victory here with Duke Leto, making them their spot here in the semi-finals. Heretic will definitely come into this game feeling fairly confident, I reckon, and I think they'll believe that they can get their way into the grand final. They've played a whole variety of leaders as well. Duke Leto for 3 of the matches, but also other victories have been found with Princess Yuna, and obviously the aforementioned game with Memnon. So Heretic happy to get into the mix of it, happy to change things as need be, and react to the game situation. Will that make a difference this one? I don't know, but we shall see. Nail was a narrow but ultimately right victor of Group E, topping the table against Strong Acting, finding their way through to the next round, but has had to really scrap through the knockouts. A second place finish in Match H, game won by Doom Over Morals, but managed to get through to the quarterfinals, where they won quarterfinal C, interestingly enough, playing against hjorth as well, who is, of course, in this quarterfinal match. So it will be round 2 between them, and they'll be looking to do the double, but I'm sure hjorth will want to get their revenge at this crucial juncture. Nebula has also had a variety of leaders they've played over the course of the competition, but they've definitely tended towards a bit of card drawing. A few games played as Helena does come to looking at their previous results, and even looking, of course, at the knockout rounds. The quarterfinal played with Ilban, and the semis with Hunjo, who can kind of do a little bit of everything and can be a bit of an all-rounder when needed. So now I think might well decide to continue down that route. If they can find a card drawer like Helena or maybe Ilban or something like that, might well decide to go down that route. But again, it'll largely depend obviously on what the table state looks like, what seat position you get, what leaders pull out as well. Now I think we'll also fancy their chances in this one, but I think this could be a tricky game for them. I don't know why. I just get the feeling, obviously, again, having already played against hjorth in the previous game, I think that might well factor into this a little bit here, and I would doubt that they're both going to ignore what happened in quarterfinal C. Speaking of hjorth, they were the victor of Group J, and I think over the course of this competition have shown themselves to be quite a wily individual, I reckon. These ones have also had to change up a little bit as they've gone as well. Victories in the groups with Baron and Tesia. A couple of games also played with Armored Kaz in the groups. But hjorth then going back-to-back with Ilban in the knockouts, winning Match C only narrowly, and then coming just about short to Nail in quarterfinal C. Nail, if I remember, had tiebreaker at the end, and so robbing Ilban of the qualification, but still scoring 11 victory points and coming through as one of the highest second places to get through to the semi-finals. I think hjorth could be pretty dangerous in this match. I'm not going to lie to you. I have a funny feeling that hjorth might find some moves in this one in order to squeak past here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I'm also going to see what happens with hjorth as well. I do think hjorth prefers to go down the faction route, be it Baron or Tesia, or even other players that can do it decently. Unican, if allowed to be a push a load of factions. Other players can also do it as well if you can get access to that shipping as well. So I think hjorth could be pretty dangerous in this one. And last up is Habboot, who was a very, very narrow victor of Group I, less than half an average point in it to top the table against JC Phoenix, and Tomas was also very, very close behind as well. Habboot has definitely shown a great tendency to get boots on the ground throughout this game and has been fairly aggressive throughout, with several plays of Beast Raban as well as Viscount Hundro, both more than capable of really pushing the ground and trying to dominate a lot of the combats and dictating the pace of the game. But it's come through a pretty decent effect, however, even in the knockouts. Martel with the Baron getting second place and losing out to Dima on the Chalmurky tiebreak. And then also coming through fairly well enough in the quarterfinals. The second place finish with Habboot as well, playing as the Beast. I think my only concern with Habboot coming into this is that they haven't won a lot of matches over the course of this competition. They've managed to force their way through and progress through the tournament. They haven't had to win a ton of games, but I feel like Habboot would like to have come into this with at least one more victory under their belt before coming in. Effectively, at this point, they've only won 2 out of 6, which isn't amazing, especially given that one of those was a 4th place finish in the groups. But in what they've perhaps lacked in just outright victories, Habboot has managed to secure in pretty consistent scoring throughout most of the competition, especially in the knockouts as well. Both knockout games scoring 11 points, which is pretty good going, and definitely deserving of their space in this semi-final match. But I think for me, it might be a little bit tricky for Habboot here. I think Habboot will want to try and get an early push into this one if they can find it and try to lead from the front. Habboot doesn't strike me, as far as this competition's gone, as the best coming from behind, but we shall see. As to who I think is going to win this semi-final match, it's so hard to call now. There's so many good players condensed into these brackets now. It's really hard to pick winners. I think what we might see here is someone on this table is going to try to get ahead early and is going to try and win from the front and just try and stay ahead of everyone else. But the structure of the tournament now is that second place does not get you to the grand final. You have to win this match to get there. Second place gets the consolation and getting to the runner-up playoffs, but it's all about getting into the grand final now. So if someone does go ahead that early, then it might well be in the interest of the table to put a stop to that and legitimately try and team up and slow them down and try and end the game. But I don't know. Really hard to call this one. I think this is anyone's. If I had to put a name down, I guess I would go with Habboot, but I would not feel very confidently here at all. This is very hard to decide, and it's going to come down, I think, to 1 or 2 key moves here or there, I think could make the difference here. Very, very close game incoming. Alright, and so we get ourselves ready for the match here, being joined by quarterfinalists, Martel. How are you keeping?
I'm good, man. How are you?
We're not bad. It is busy times. Lots going on, but we are ready for not quarterfinal action, semi-final action. God heavens. Right, let's go have a look then. So Heretic has got the first player mark, means it will be Habboot picking leaders first. Let's have a look at the row and text here, and there's a lot going on. Quite a bit of versatility, but it's tending towards a bit of combat here. Some very tempting cards early on. Power Play and Fufia, the expensive ones. Both very strong. Fufia very flexible, can do a lot of fun stuff with that. We've got the Gun Fopter opening up here as well, which is also very scary. Spice Hunter and Spice Smugglers to complement as well. So lots going on here. We're definitely tending towards a bit of combat here. Tech-wise, we've got Memo Quarters straight away, which is going to be very, very highly fought for. The Flagships, one of the most expensive, but victory point on the spot. And Shot Fleet as well, which people are going to make a gun for early. So I think we're going to see a lot of fighting, especially if these early rewards, we have a lot of spice here. I think we could see a lot of action. Leader-wise, wow, this is going to be an interesting one. There's no Tesia, there's no Baron, which is always interesting here. This is a curious set of leaders going here.
Yeah, it looks like Beast might be a good pick. with the row, I was really hoping Atessia was out there.
Nah, there
But
isn't. I mean, Beast
Master
is
not.
surely going to get picked by someone who is going to be looking to threaten Momo Quarters right away here. And Habboot goes for it immediately in full position. So this is going to be very curious here to see how this is going to break down. It is Nail in third here. Helena, I would imagine we're probably going to see here. It's not, I don't think this is the best Helena road going, but I mean, nabbing power play or Foofy or even Gunfopter all looks pretty tasty, and I can't hate that. But I mean, there's other stuff going on here. Ilban doesn't look too bad. Yuno, I think, looks fine.
Ilban as well.
Yeah, Ilban, I think, looks... There's no access on this row, admittedly, but I don't know. Yuno looks very tempting as well. But I mean, there's plenty of stuff going on. I actually don't even think this is the worst Rumba row going. I've seen worse.
That'll be fun. We got Romber and Beast right next to each other.
I mean, I would be surprised to see Rombavernius get picked in this game, but I can't hate it. I mean, the fact that Foofy is out there does make Paul a little bit more playable. But I imagine we'll see Hundro, and I imagine we'll see Ilban as the other two leaders. Helena is taken in third here by Nail. Players are going to start worrying.
Even a Yuna in second position with Shuttle Fleet out there.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, the thing is, obviously, if you go Yuna in second, she do see... I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what she does. Does she just commit to Smuggle and give up early shipping? I don't know.
That's usually what I do.
I mean, it's become more and more popular for player 2 just or spot 3 to just try and smuggle twice and get Swordmaster going. As the tournament has progressed, that has been a bit of a shift into that. So Heretic's up. And Heretic, not going to necessarily like the leaders he's got left here. But I think it's either Ilban or Hunter, you would imagine.
Yeah.
Ilban, again, looks a bit tricky because of the way the row looks. There's nothing to help with access up top, though. So maybe Hundro is a better go for here, perhaps. It's not... I don't think Hundro in first position is amazingly ideal. But, I don't know. I'm not so sure about all the rest. Ilban is a way to go, but Ilban's like kind of... If you go into Ilban, you're having intentions of kind of shutting up a little bit. So we do see Hundro come up here. So we're going to get ourselves pretty much ready for this one. Secret Forces and Expedite was the two intrigues. A very quick choice for Heretic. Not even flirting with any kind of intentions of not sure what he was going to pick there. And we're going to get ourselves underway here. I think this is going to be a tough game. It's a hard one to call. I have no earthly idea who this is, who's going to come out of this one. It's going to be very, very close, I suspect. Our first conflict is going to be the mixed smuggling skirmish here. Not the strongest. Not the strongest one going in the world. I don't hate it. I think some people are going to be after that second spot here. But first also doesn't look too bad here. Wow, look at these opening hands for everyone. Oh my goodness me. Princess Yuna is the only person that gets any kind of diplomacy access immediately here. So Yuna's is gonna have first access of instead of shipping in this one. So Hundro smuggles, and the problems already begin here. So Helena's got not a lot here. Helena might feel she's got to block Memo Quarters away from Beast. Wow,
that's what I would do.
Start
Give yourself 6 persuasion or 7 with one extra action.
Yeah,
6.
she's got all sorts of persuasion here, but she might also just let Beast have it and think, it's not a big deal. But Beast is drawn pretty hideous as well here. This is very, very curious opening. No one's drawn at all here. Helena's considering... I think she's considering Arakeen to try and pull her ring or one of her diplomacy cards by the looks of it. And that is what she's going to do here. She's going to draw immediately. Does find diplomacy, so she might be eyeing up some conflict here. So Beast has an option to go Memo Quarters and grab the bump now if he wants. And I think given the fact that Yuna is the one that's going to be getting shipping first here immediately, I don't hate it. I think it's... I can't hate it. I think you're in opposition. There are worlds where Helena might even decide to let you have the fold space and she does something else to stop Yuna just dominating it, so... And that is what we do see here.
Those grab Memo Quarters.
This persuasion doesn't hurt here either as well. Next tech is going to be Space. Well, that might sit there for a little bit. So Hundro's up. Hundro's got a weird spot here now. if he wants into the combat, he's got to commit now. But he might just punt for Imperial Basin, I think, and looking to use the smuggling to cash out a bit more effectively later on, perhaps. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Obviously, you know you're going to have your signet ring next round, but you're also going to have all your diplomacy stuff, and you're going to be forced to act here. So next round could get pretty awkward for Hundro. He is going to go ahead and just take the shipping now and not risk signet ring issues. He's going to get some cash for his troubles. I think he's looking to expedite next round, and he's just going to cash immediately with his signet ring to get Swordmaster. I think that's what's coming here, or his dagger, I should say. Because if he gets a couple of coins here and then he expedites down and takes the cash, he can Swordmaster right away. I think that's what's going on, right?
Yeah, I think so too. That expedite and his ring.
So Yuna's up next. I don't hate Yuna going in here for some combat. Like, if she's going to be doing a lot of shipping here early, then there's an argument that says she just puts in now. Well, she's going to reveal straight away for Fufir. Takes Fufir instead. Okay, doesn't go for power play. Curious, the instant reveal for Fufir. I mean, I don't hate it. But interesting that's happened. Wow. Reverend Mother Mahim peels off for Helena here. And no one's going to be able to stop her getting this either. That is a nice...
She'll have enough.
That's a nice idea card. Well, she has 7. She's got 6 currently. So, that's a point here. She could reveal early for it, but, I mean, all the faction spaces are open.
That's true. If she's in action, she's not guaranteed. Like, she can't get it, right? She's using a persuasion for it. I guess she could go up to tech negotiation and infiltrate.
But I don't think there's a lot of point in doing that. I think you either just... I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, I guess you could do, but power play is also sitting there, and power play is probably just as good here. Also, if they want to win the combat, they probably feel like they've got to put more troops in. Steel Silks looks pretty good.
They might be hoping to get second, actually.
No, I think they are going to try and take this down. I don't think she's going to hope for second. I mean, I'd be a little surprised. Also, letting Hundro win this conflict for 2 troops feels kind of crazy. Especially knowing that he's got Expedite. And, like, you're basically... I mean, this conflict is great for Hundro. Like, you're basically giving him... He's going to have his signet ring next round. Like, you're basically just giving him a tier 2 ship immediately. I think that's a little bit much be giving Heretic and just kind of donating that to him, potentially. If he's got 2 swords... But Helena might figure she doesn't really care. And she decides she doesn't care. So she's just going to pick up the spice here. I think Helena might be looking to go conspiring next round here to get up to 8 Solari. The idea thinking that she can get in Swordmaster before Hundro can cash out. She is wrong, unfortunately. Which means Beast gets a free punt at Carthage just to take this down. And this is the other problem with Helena not putting in. Is Beast just comes over the top all the time, right?
I mean, he definitely could.
If he
I don't know
wants
if I would be doing it in this spot, but...
Yeah, I mean, the option's
at least
there.
one troop.
It does decide not to. Picks up the secret forces that Hundro put away. Might sit there for a bit here. So, just the sword then. No one's kind of a little cagey opening here. Hundro reveals for free. Takes a liaison. Doesn't want to shift the road too much here. Helena reveals for 5. So, I imagine it will be power play here.
Yep, for sure.
Second Spice Hunter comes off. And then Beast to reveal also for free. Can you see what Beast is going to do here with this? I mean, might go Liaison. I don't hate a Spice Hunter, actually, here. I think just for some faction access, that doesn't look terrible.
Honestly, don't mind Spice Smugglers either.
Spice Hunters is also there, but I don't know. I feel it's a little risky, but he does go for it. So he's going to try and use that to get hold of his shipping early.
Shipping also Solari to pay for High Council if he wants to throw in those extra troops.
Yeah, that's also true, but he's going to have to pick up some spice pretty early. So I imagine he might well be signet ringing to Hagger Basin at some point here. We'll see. So nothing to happen here. So it's free cash apiece for Heretic and Nail. A couple of coins for Habboot. Nail definitely is considering Great Fanatic Conspire to get hold of their Swordmaster here, I imagine. So money all around. And we're going to move on here. So Well, that is exactly what you want to see with these kind of techs, right? My goodness me. So, raid stockpiles is up.
Nice.
This is a pretty significant combat. This is bigger than it looks. Unit, of course, just gonna start shipping. Nothing fancy. So everyone's now got all their power cards here. So I wonder if we're gonna see some Menta action. I wonder if someone's gonna Mentat with their signet ring here to try and get between Beast and Hundro. The problem is that, though, is that you feel you get like all your actions out, but then obviously you are going to draw into your next set of hands. And that means your next hand itself could be a bit rubbish. So maybe they'll just say, so be it. Hundro might be able to do it anyways, because Hundro can expedite and just cash in the shipping immediately to get hold of the money here. Curious to see if the players might. I'm curious to see if the players are actually gonna consider blocking smuggling to stop him from getting access to to get access to like this. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So Helena's up. Helena is just gonna water monopolize here. She's gonna try and keep that away from Yuna, I guess.
Yeah, this is not the best spot for Yuna. I think even though she has early shipping, you kind of don't want to see Solari everywhere else.
No,
because you want to get your value out of having the first Swordmaster.
Interesting move from Helena there. I mean, getting the extra water again, 2 hits the steel suits is, I don't know, it feels a little slow to me. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's a little curious. Would have thought she would have been considering just like Great Flat and Conspire. Just looks not a bad option to me. Gets your 8 Solari, don't have to worry about it.
Maybe they're trying to grab both spice spots.
I mean, that's almost. I mean, that's asking a lot here between Beast and Hundred. You think someone's going to Hager Basin, right? And the thing is, now that you've peeled the water, now that it's more likely they're going to go Hager Basin.
Well, she knows everyone has their faction access cards because no one had it last time. So, and Hager Basin most likely stay up.
I mean, they do, but I mean, Hundro's going to want to use a signet ring here, like 100%. Like, it's very, very strong.
Hundro can actually expedite and use his ring and get a bunch of troops in the conflict.
Yeah, potentially. If he goes to Hager Basin specifically, yeah, like he can signet ring and then expedite and get dudes in here and cause some problems. Really cause some problems here. So,
the Beast having a long thing here.
I mean, it's not an obvious spot here for Beast. I mean, you've got your Signet Ring, which you kind of want to use, but you've got all your faction access as well here. I mean, I would probably argue Signet Ring and Diplomacy are my choices here. I don't think I'd be using Seek Allies. I think Beast is going to... Yeah, and Beast goes there immediately. He wants the spice. I'm not surprised here. And he's going to put troops in. I think Beast is eyeing up getting a load of spice here. Again, I think he's also looking at conspiring to get hold of his Swordmaster. He also wants spice for spice smugglers as well. And he's going to try and give himself the best possible chance of getting hold of shipping. Not next round, but the round afterwards. Because Yuna will be able to... Yuna's already there. So Beast giving himself options. I mean, this makes logical sense. So Hundro's going to use his signet ring to smuggle now. Now, I'm very curious to see what Hundro's going to do. Does he actually just... does he bump up or does he bump down? I think he just has to bump down here and cash it all in here. So Hundro's going to get hold of his Swordmaster immediately here.
Yeah, it's not a bad spot to be in.
And he will go...
Swordmaster.
Yep, and he will go for the faction access. In case Beast doesn't manage to get it, he's going to give himself that spot as well. Prepping up for in a couple of rounds' time. So Yuna just ships. Helena, I'm curious what Helena's going to do here. I don't think she's going like research station or anything. She has drawn, of course, into her... she has redrawn her hand, courtesy of the earlier Arakeen move, so...
I mean, research station for
Mahayam, but that seems kind of nuts to me. I mean, I can't
like
imagine that being the move. She's got a signet ring. She obviously will be looking to use it. The question is what she uses on specifically. She could mentat. I don't entirely hate mentatting here as Helena. But I mean, I think again, to me, Helena, I think it's just great flat conspire for me here. I think it just gives you your gets your Swordmaster ready. Like I think this is gonna be a game where I as Helena, I'm sitting here. I think I'd want the actions fairly quickly here.
Right.
And that's just
But
me.
as it stands, I think you just save the Solarian Mentat up and maybe just go Carthag.
I mean, I don't think she's going to make a punt for trying to win this. The only way that Helena would be trying to make a punt to win this would be Mentat first, to kind of like try and tease out action out of Beast. Although she should know that Beast can't put any more troops in, because he's only got faction access and he has no water anymore, so...
Right.
So there's no way for Beast to put in more troops. He's putting the most here, so... It is going to be Carthag. She's going to have a little divot here, see what she finds. Strategic push comes up, and I tell you what, that might well influence her going in here. She might well consider it. I'm hoping that Beast hasn't pulled a combat intrigue here.
With the combat intrigue and a sword behind, I think I would throw them all in.
Depends how much you want the spice and the extra intrigue. I mean, I think it's going to be pretty valuable here. Like, if Helena's looking at anything like Shuttle Fleet or flagships, maybe even Spaceport, like, if you're one for interest in the tech, she's going to go for it. Considering grabbing the assassination mission and making it free, but goes for the Fopter instead, which it should be noted, she cannot buy. She cannot afford the gun Fopter. She's just yeeting it out the row here, by the way, which is fascinating. Water Peddler comes up next. That's not bad. Una is going to be able to grab this, and that is going to help us significantly. It's a huge card for her.
Right. So, looks like still thinking about throwing in the troops. I'm fine with it either way.
I think one's fine.
Personally, I would be going for it here.
There's temptation to go for it. The problem is, like, do you really want Beast sitting there with gobs of spice? Like, that looks a little scary.
The thing is, Hundro can always come in over the top and
well, Hundro does have warriors. Yeah, he does have hardy warriors, but it's only hardy warriors he's got. Does Hundro? I mean, Hundro's going to be able to. He's going to Swordmaster first, so he's going to see like the cards at least. It's not going to make much difference. I mean, I don't know. Is Hundro hardy worrying and going all in for raid stockpiles? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I think there's worlds he does and there's worlds he doesn't. I don't think it's
bad for him, especially with Expedite and he's shuffling in his ring.
I mean, obviously, if it'll help fund his ring. I mean, their players don't know about Expedite. Like, I wouldn't be sitting there as Helena thinking about that.
Right, of course.
I could go either way. But it looks like that is going to be... She's not going to put any more in here. So it looks like it's going to be Beast next. So Beast... Curious to see what Beast is going to do here. You feel like you've got to hit a faction of some kind. I don't hate Wealth.
Yeah,
I think
your only access.
I think Wealth is not out. Yeah. Wealth isn't outrageous. Secrets isn't outrageous. I don't even hate selective breeding here. I don't even entirely hate it, but I do agree with saving the Seek allies for later. I think diplomacy to Wealth, I think is fine. Might go secrets too. It does go secrets. Picking up more intrigues here, getting a bump going. Master Tactician found. That's okay, you know, that might be of some use. I don't hate it. Swordmaster, of course, for Hundro. A little unusual to see first player getting the Swordmaster first. Don't see that often.
Yeah.
So Una with 2 to buy. Assassination Mission, Water Peddler, both look very tempting. I don't think she's going Spice Hunters here. I don't think the liaison's that amazing either. I mean, Assassination Mission has some value here, right?
Yeah, both cards are great for her, but
I wouldn't get both.
Both, it really.
Yeah, I think getting both is asking a lot. Big. I think one is fine. Water Peddler that gets over your initial water resource problems. The thing is, obviously, you're going to start losing access to shipping. So what if it takes? Oh, she is going to go for both. Oh my goodness, man, she peels off G manipulation and Lady J. Oh my goodness. Well. That is going to be of high interest to Helena here. Helena reveals for 2.
Especially with all the water.
Yeah,
she will not have a ring for some time. But
yeah. So Helena cannot afford the Gunfopter. Again, just yeeted out. That was just a block against, I guess, the Beast. Who is going to reveal for 4. So if I'm Beast here, I'm liking the look of like G manipulation here. I think this is just solid, getting some trashing done on the side, which as a beast is generally not, it's not easy to do, get a lot of trashing done. And if there is a world where, oops. Let's say, yeah. Didn't mean to do that. Wrong tab here. If there is a world you can pick up Lady J or Mom Mahayam, that looks insane. But yeah, gene manipulation looks pretty good. Arrakis recruited the next card off here. That might sit there for a little bit, I fear. But I don't know. This row's a little bit up and down. So Hundra has a choice if he wants to get stuck in here or not. It's only Hardy Warriors, so he's either going to go for the win or he's not. We'll see if Hundro's going to get tempted into this, and he is going for it. Wow. So he is going to barrel in, hoping that Beast doesn't have a battle intrigue, but he does. So unfortunately, Beast, I think if I'm Beast, I'm combating this, and I'm punishing Hundro. Like, using his Water and Fortunes for two spice is really expensive. The Shadow does peel off. Yeah, 100% for me, I'm using Master Tactician here as Beast, and I'm punishing Hundro. I'm charging him the maximum.
Yep, I would as well.
100% I'm doing this. Like, if... Oh, he passes! Oh,
wow.
I'm not so sure about that. I think if you make Hundro... If you make it expensive... Oh, and Reinforcements comes off. Beast would have loved that. That's a huge card for him. Oh, no. I think for me, Tactician, I would happily be using... You're recycling your Intrigue, and, like, if Hundro spends all that resource for 2 spice, that hurts him a lot here. Heretic, I think, has been given a bit here at the beginning of this game. Players might regret this later on here. Yeah, for me, it's Tactician all day. I'm going to say I'm punishing him 100% for that.
Yeah, and he has 1 Intrigue, and he decided not to use it in the first conflict. So... You have to think it's probably not a combat intrigue.
Yeah.
Unless you really didn't want first place.
That's expensive for Hundro to go there. Like, that really hurts him if he doesn't get that. Like, he's in some trouble. But never mind. It is what it is. So, we're going to move on. Round 3. It is the Guild Bank Raid. It's cash all over the place.
Now, do you Hardy Warriors here as Helena?
Oh, she's got power play.
Gets her the alliance right away.
I think, I don't know. I think she's looking at... probably she's got absolutely tons of water, and she has not picked up any mining cards, which is a bit awkward. I think she was considering worlds of Great Flat and power playing Highliners. I think there were worlds that might have been an option here. She also wants Lady J, 100%. She wants to get hold of Lady Jessica, or In the Shadows, so...
And it has to start with Mentat, right?
I mean, how is she getting her Swordmaster anytime soon here? I don't think she is. She's not shipping. And, well, Conspire's going to have to wait here, so... Maybe there is a world you take Mentat here and you kind of see what happens. I don't hate it. I don't know if I like hammering Hardy Warriors with the power play here. I mean, you could... But I feel like I'd rather be power playing something else if I could help it. But I don't know.
Yeah, because you're...
Like Beast would normally be some competition, but he's not made any inroads on it, and Hundro's not really going to make a serious challenge. I think you're fairly likely to get from an alliance here as Helena, even if you don't power play. So I think Mentating is fine. Kind of see what happens. Kind of react a bit. Give yourself some chances to get the money via the combat. I don't hate it.
I guess she knows what her last card is.
It's a Signet Ring, I think.
Oh, she used it last time.
Oh, she? I don't know what it is, 100%. So, thoughts about it. But, I mean, I don't know. She might not want to use the power. But the problem is, like, yeah, you're not getting a Swordmaster this round. Like, there's no way it's happening. Beast, by the way, has not pulled any faction access, nor has he found Spice Smugglers, which is terrible news for Beast here. Beast really wants to draw cards and find either of them. Unfortunately, Fold Space is going to be gone, so he'd be drawing specifically for Spice Smugglers here. So this is bad news for Beast to not find it. Beast has some trouble here, actually. Oh, no, Beast can Shuttle Fleet. My apologies. He has 5 Spice, doesn't he? So he can Shuttle Fleet for... He can Shuttle Fleet for his bump and get his access to shipping next round.
I like that a lot.
Also, the extra money's good. That's Dreadnought funding. as well. Like, people forget, like, Shuttle Fleet on Beast, like, gives you some faction bumps, but it's paying for Dreadnoughts. And that's always a threat with Beast then. And especially he's also got Secret Forces, so High Council is an option. He might hybrid it. He's going to be power play for Helena. He's going to go for this. Or she's just going to power play Fold Space, but it feels weird. I don't like power playing Fold Space in a situation like this. It feels kind of cumbersome.
It's a little late, it seems. You're not going to get shipping
Just
very often.
power plays well. Just taking the passive bump and getting the point there. I don't hate it. I think as Beast, I think you've got a choice. You can Shuttle Fleet now and do something else later, or you could go Imperial Basin and then Shuttle Fleet with Dreadnoughts on the spot. But you're kind of hampering your Swordmaster, which is also very important here. Beast needs a lot of money, so he's got a decision to make. But I think all routes here go through Shuttle Fleet. I think it's too short, especially you've got Memo Quarters as well. I think I'd just be grabbing Shuttle Fleet immediately and not risking anything here. That's what we do see.
Let's grab it.
Just gets it over and done with. I think that's totally fine. Memo Quarters is in play as well, so it helps that. I think it's shipping, obviously, and I think you'd probably take the Fremen bump. I think getting access to the Siege as soon as possible, given that as an option, is never bad as Beast.
Yeah, you're probably going to a BG spot later.
I think he'll be visiting the Bene Gesserit before this game's out. So I think for me, it's map access. I think having Siege as an option as Beast is never bad. Like, because if no one else really has access to Siege and no one else is really going there, that always gives you an offload site for your Signet Ring once you get an alliance, and that's always an entry point. So I think map access is more important right now. You could like getting a passive up the Emperor is fine. He just takes the point of the Bene Gesserit. Okay, so he's eyeing up that alliance then, clearly. Hundred does have access to Fold Space. I think he's going to feel he might as well do it.
I mean, smuggling's not bad either.
Smuggling's also there. I mean, the question is anyone else going Fold Space here? I mean, you might figure probably not.
Helena passed it up, and
Yuna's obviously just going to ship, so
it'd be up to the Beast.
It's hard to see Beast going Fold Space. You wouldn't expect to see that here. He might, but I'd be a bit surprised. So 100 might be able to reconcile holding off on diplomacy for now and going smuggling first. He's got free actions, so I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I'm trying to see, is there any world where maybe he steals Great Flat? He could go Great Flat Siege to take or Still Suits and Siege and use that to steal Great Flat. It's a bit out there, but it is a move. I think he'll just stick to smuggling and keep it simple, which he does decide to do. Doesn't seem bad. You know, we'll ship with a Signet Ring. Could see if she's going to use the Signet Ring now, probably to get the Spacing Alliance, I imagine. I think she'll pay for it, and she'll get the Spacing Alliance, which is exactly what we do see, yeah.
Get the big refund.
So she gets a bit of the cash back. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Nothing too fancy.
You don't want to throw in troops.
So Lena's going to make a decision here, what she wants to do. I can't see a drawing here. I think she's just going to hope that she reveals for In the Shadows. I don't think she's daggering. Or is she going to dagger for Maheim here? Looks like that's what's going to happen here. No, she High Councils. She breaks from the Swordmaster and High Council to get hold of Jessica instead.
Yeah, Jessica's available to her. That's a pretty big card.
So she's committing all in for Jessica here. And I think we're going to start seeing Helena kind of slowly retreat from the board by the looks of it. And she's going to just rely on Jessica just to get some Spice flows and kind of power through here. Remember, of course, the winner of the game goes through the grand final. Second place goes through the runner-up playoffs. It does not matter anymore what happens in any of the other games in this round here. These are all self-contained. The only thing the players have got to worry about is this match. What happens in semi-final D is irrelevant to them here. They are their own competition. What does the Beast
do? City space? Maybe trash a dagger?
I mean, G manipulation's got to be used here, surely. So the question is what you want to do. I mean, you've already got Shuttle Fleet paying for money here, so going heavy into combat doesn't feel as great. You could also Mentat here. I don't completely hate it.
Is he thinking about early revealing for In the Shadows? Kind of.
That is also an option, and he might consider doing that.
Alliance,
considering again, he's got memo quarters. Yeah, I mean that is definitely an option. He's thinking about all sorts of options. But I think he's going to Mentat this. And he does, yeah.
Does decide to Mentat.
He's flirting with this. He finds his diplomacy, so he's got a decision. That's the only problem with Mentatting here is, like, geomanipulation, using it is totally fine. If you draw a good card, like, what are you doing? Hanjo will fold space now. Can you see what Yuna's going to do here? Right. She does have her... I think she might go all in. She might Hardy Warrior this.
Yeah, I think I would.
I think she's going to eye up and think, I want a load of money for my ring here. And she's going to bow it in. She's got a load of troops to use. Trying to work out the maths here. Looking at the Beast, trying to work out what strength he might have. You wouldn't think Beast has got a combat intrigue anymore.
No, definitely not. Oh, unless it's a two-sword.
I mean, yeah, potentially, I guess. No, she's going to steal Suit and Said. Just put in a couple of troops. Not go heavy ham here. I think his 4 Solari's fine. Helena's going to reveal for 7 and grab Jessica then. I imagine she's bumping... I don't know what she's bumping. I guess he probably just bump spacing. Might as well. Oh my goodness me. What a huge card that is for Helena. Appropriate turns up. She's going to be able to ring that next round, possibly. That's huge. That's very significant. That power play to Wealth looking a mite better now.
Maybe Fremen, but you're going to have to defend that alliance, I think.
I also think as well, maybe Yuna went Steel Suits blocking Beast from that, perhaps, as well. Because now Yuna is now threatening Great Flat as well. Because she's going to lose shipping access here. So Yuna's saying, well, if I water, I can get Great Flat next round and get 6 fights, because Helena never took it.
She's going to be in front of Helena, yep.
Yeah, and no one else is going to be able to do anything about it here, so... So it was kind of suiting multiple purposes there, the Steel Suits move. So Beast has Mentated to delay, which means you think he's going to get involved in the combat somehow. But how does he intend to do it? Yeah, like I like the stall for Mentat, but you kind of didn't want to draw a good card. You kind of want to draw like a convincing or something. But now you've drawn you got your diplomacy and your G manipulation awkward here, so... I'm not really sure what his move is here, to be honest. Like, the only place you can go faction-wise is Secrets, which feels bad, but you've drawn your diplomacy now, so you still got your Seek Allies, so it's not a disaster. I think I still use G manipulation here and get rid of a dagger. And say, alright, I drew my diplomacy, that's unfortunate, but I've got my Seek Allies, it's not a disaster.
No Carthag.
I think trashing these daggers is important here. He's gonna save it!
Once.
He's going to save the persuasion and hope a better card comes off here. Interesting. It will be Carthag, but he's not going to trash a dagger. I don't know if I agree with that. I think for me, I'm trashing a dagger here. Or he's going to go Arakeen and try and find Mahayam?
Well, it seems like.
Carthag it is. Wow, that's pretty significant. He finds Urgent Mission. That's a huge card for him. Massive for Beast.
That'd be great later on.
Trying to see if there's a way you could use it now. That makes a lot of sense. I don't think so. He'll probably save that for next round to double instead of the ship, I would imagine. It also doubles as a stall as well, so... Hanjo will Arakeen. Finds his Spice Hunter, which is nice. He gets the Spice out of that. That's a Brucey bonus. So Hanjo's got reinforcements. He's got Expedite as well here. I think Hanjo might throw a dude in here, minimum. He's got a couple of daggers as well, which is going to be tempting. He might go for this.
I think I would go 2-win. Oh, I don't know. It'd be sitting at 3 intrigues.
Yeah, I mean, but again, like he didn't use it in the last round, so who knows? Anyways, unit reveals for 4, picks up In the Shadows. Fordaken Death Commando comes up next here, so the Fremen card's starting to come out in force now. So let's see what Beast does here. Beast now, you know, he chose not to use... Oh, he had 5 persuasion. I apologize, he went tech negotiation. He's going to appropriate. That's why. That's why he did it. I missed that. Yep. I forgot the tech negotiation here. So Helena gets that taken away from her. She'll be a bit disappointed by that. That, by the way, that is a scary card with the Beast, if you can get that 2 influence going. He won't be able to
get up there.
He won't do
But
it
he
yet.
will be able to ship next round first.
Yeah.
So that could be 1 bump.
So here we go then. Look, let's everyone's at 4 strength here. The combat is currently tied. Should be noted, everyone will get 2nd place here and 4 Solari as it stands. But Hundra's going to reinforcements, and he's going to... This isn't doing a lot for him. This is only giving him an extra 2 cash. This is not actually... I don't know if I like this as Hundra.
He's paying 1 for...
He's paying a Solari to garrison 2 troops. That's basically what he's doing here. But he's also costing him an intrigue, which no one knows what that is. I don't know if that's worth it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Especially if you don't do that, like, you've got access to your Swordmaster next round. And Beast just Master Tacticians anyways and punishes him.
Wow.
And there's nothing Hunter can do here, so not punishing him last round for the Master Tactician, but does it here instead, which I totally get. And I get this. It makes total sense to me. I mean, this is a savage move here. Yuna ends up putting 2 troops for 2 Solari, it works out. I don't think Beast was going to do that if Hunter didn't pay reinforcements. I legitimately don't think so.
Yeah, if he didn't use it last combat, he would.
Yeah, figures Heretics had too much run of their combats here, and it's time to start exercising some strength here. So, Beast puts his foot down. And it's more money to come through. Look, there's Sword Through the Chaos.
Wow.
Still no combat victory points around here. But Beast doesn't mind. He's got his engine going now. So Beast has just got to prepare himself this round for the next combat here. Beast
cannot get shipping and Swordmaster.
He will not be able to get both. Probably. If Hundro wants to get his Swordmaster first, like, he can do that. But as Beast, I don't hate that. I think it's fine. Like, you've got urgent missions. It's not a disaster. Oh, he doesn't pick up his other mining card, though. That is unfortuitous here. Did he have access to it? Yeah, his other card was his Dune Desert Planet. He's not drawn it, so he's a little unlucky here.
Very unlucky.
It's a little unfortunate. And there's not going to be... The only thing he could do... It's actually not that terrible. Like, he could go shipping, and then he could use Spice Smugglers to go to Arakeen to draw it, and then Urgent Mission to reship. That is an option. And that way, you've also got a fresh hand next round. It's a bit unfortunate. It means your Seek Allies is cycling around your hand again, which isn't great. But if you want to double ship this round, you can do. The problem is, it's now round 4. If you want to double ship, I think you have to do it now. Unless you wait for, like, round 7 and hope that Helena hasn't got access to shipping by that point, which she might or might not. Who knows?
I'm sorry, what was his last card?
It's his Doom. It's his Doom card.
Okay.
So, it's a bit of a weird spot, this, for Beast. I think Beast has to decide now if he wants to double ship block, because if he doesn't do it now, he is not guaranteed to ever do it again. But he can make it happen. Because you can ship, you could ship and take the spice, and then use Spice Smugglers, and then continue to harass Helena here if you want. And I think Yuna, I think harassing Yuna at the Spacing Guild, I think is going to be important here. Yuna does not want to put any more effort into that.
Because it also gives you the memo quarters.
Yeah, and you need it at least for memo quarters. So I think that's the move for me. I think for this Beast, I'm going Signet Ring to shipping, and I'm cashing in the for Spice. I'm Spice Smuggling Arakeen. I wouldn't think it's getting blocked a lot of the time. And then I'm Urgent Missioning to reship here. I think that's how I would play this. I think you have to ship first regardless. But I think for me, I'm cashing in this as Spice. You don't need to cash in for Solari, right, anymore. You got Shuttle Fleet.
No, especially if you're using Spice Smugglers, you're gonna get more Solari.
Yeah, and you've got Shuttle Fleet, so I think Spice is the way to go here. But he might go for cash and figure he's gonna be totally gone here. Emperor Bump makes total sense. He's also considering appropriate here. But if he takes Spice, I think that's telling me he's eyeing up Spice Smugglers, and I think the players will gather that he's got it. But I don't think that means anyone's going to block him from using it.
And maybe not necessarily. Maybe they see he has 11 Solari already, and
Well,
figures he
that
doesn't
as
need much
well,
more.
but they will know he's got
The shuttle
appropriate.
fleet?
In shuttle fleet, though, that's very scary. I think the spice is fine here. He needs to take an extra troop for his ring, which he has now done. So let's see if anyone goes Arakeen here. I think they're going to be interested to see what Hundro does. If Hundro decides to cash in his expedite to get access to Swordmaster in case Beast finds his access there and doesn't realize what he's got. I don't know. I think Hundro might, but he also might just smuggle again here. Smuggle Signet Ring. I think that's what's going to happen. No, he's Imperial Basoning. He's just going to offer the spice here. Is he going to throw troops in? Is he going to use his expedite now, I wonder? Probably not right now. But he'll throw a couple of dudes in.
Probably would have started off with smuggling with Dune. But I guess you're leaving 3 spice out on the...
Is there a world where Hundro goes Highliners here? I don't think so.
Not for this combat. It was a VP combat. Probably.
Oh my god, Yuna by the... Oh, so Yuna... Oh my god. Oh no! So Yuna didn't draw a straight mining access. She drew her forward space. She's gotten Mentat and drawn her other forward space card. How did she not go Great Flat there?
Gives up Great Flat.
How did she not... What? How did she not go Great Flat and goes for the Mentat draw? That seems crazy. Am I missing something?
So good.
Helena's got a Great Flat here, right?
Yeah, I think so. So it's very happy to see it.
Why does Yuna decide to go Mentat there? Is she scared that she's not got enough actions? She's trying to draw better? She's drawn a full space, but... Like, Helena's surely got to go Great Flat here. That's 6 spice. You're never going to see that again. Yeah, has to take it. Interesting Mentat for Yuna there. We'll see if she's going to just... I mean, the argument is, so she had 3 cards she can't use, specifically Convincing, Water Peddler, and Assassin. She's drawn them both now, which is a little awkward. But I don't know. I mean, I think I'm just going Great Flat, and if I can get to Mentat, I'm going for it. I think Great Flat, you just got to... And especially Fold Space, you play it, you draw another card anyways, right?
Yeah.
That was a curious Mentat from Yuna. I can't say I'm a fan of that. I can't say I'm a fan of that at all. We'll see what she justifies it. Back to Beast here. So it is on for Beast. Beast can Arakeen it. He wants that bump for his Momo Quarters anyways. It's not ideal that your Seek Allies is going to cycle around, but it's not a disaster. And he decides against it. He's not going to worry about it. He's just going to go well for Get Appropriate online here.
Oh, yeah, I guess he is cycling his deck.
So,
next round.
Yeah.
But...
Is Hunter going for it? No, he's just going to Steel Suit. I think he's putting this 3rd troop in, though. I think he might be tempted. I think Mentat's not bad here.
4 actions next round?
No, he decides not yet. I think he might be going to... I think he is probably going to use his Expedite, though. I think he's at least considering it. But I don't know. We'll see. Helena's now got problems at the Throne Alliance, though. She's kind of been a bit passive with it, and Hunter's now threatening here. Yuna's now got to justify these Fold Space cards. Secret's first here. Finds a Fremen bump. That's not bad.
Big.
That's pretty useful for her. Draws a Doom card. I don't know if that's a misstep, just giving up Great Flat there. Like that's a lot of spice to give up there as Yuna. And you can use that, like, one thing that Yuna Moritani can do pretty effectively is hitting Conspire as well. It's not a bad spot for her. You can just, like, Conspire Signet Ring, along with other stuff, and, like, you can just keep doing that. I've done it before in games with Yuna. I've just, like, Signet Ring, Conspire, Signet Ring, Conspire, and it makes you difficult to play, because no one can really stop your Signet Ring at that point. And you're always pushing an alliance as well, but I don't think this is the game for that, I guess.
Yeah, she grabbed... shipping pretty early, so decided to go that route instead.
Well, she's not going to get much. She ain't going to get much more use out of it, though. Like, she got an extra round of it or so, but that's about it.
Is Helena thinking about just grabbing flagship right away?
It is an option. It's a point. It would give her 8 persuasion. I don't think she's going to get it. I don't think she thinks that Hundro's going for it. But the problem is Hundro can. Hundro can smuggle and expedite and take flagship here. And I wonder if that's something he's going to consider doing here. That looks pretty scary, actually. Hundro more time with flagships is uncomfortable at best.
But like the breeding here? I think the worst. Get the dagger out.
I don't know. The problem is, if you're doing that, you're basically going for Spice Must Flow, and you've got to find 3 and 2 cards, which I don't think is very likely. I don't think it's worth the spice. I think if I'm going to do that, I would honestly just consider going Conspiring again here. And then expecting a cash out at some point to get hold of your Swordmaster. And it also gives you your Emperor Alliance. And you are slightly concerned about Beast. You garrison a ton of troops for next round. If it's a combat intrigue, if it's a victory point combat, like you're garrisoned up and ready to fight for it. Recon's coming up, Signet Ring's coming up. You're going to get some access. And I think if you take the Emperor Alliance, like, it's not very likely anyone else is going to go for it. Like, Beast will probably be content just to take his third bump and call it a day. Unless he finds intrigues that give him options here. I don't hate Conspiring. I don't hate it at all here. Hardy Warriors makes no sense. You could even consider maybe highlining, but I don't know if that makes a lot of... if it's that great.
Got 3 water.
I don't know if it's that valuable. You'd be highlinering, I guess, with intentions to probably end up going Reset Station? Because I would imagine someone's getting Haga Basin before you, but I don't know. Might not do. Strategic push is there as well. If she does conspire, she can't put any troops in. There is money to be had here. And Mentat also for Helena is also going to be very tempting here. I don't think Highliner is... the more I'm looking at it, the less I hate it. I'm not going to sit here and say I love it, but I think it's
the
consideration.
3 water isn't bad. Also gets you a little bit closer to the friendship.
Yeah, like those bumps are good. Like, it's got to be diplomacy regardless here. Like, as much as like you kind of want to throw an alliance, like I think Hardy Warriors just doesn't feel right here to me. I think it's a bit expensive. But I mean, maybe you got to do what you got to do here.
Not the best combo for it.
It will be Hundro and Eunice to respond here, and both of them might well throw in more dudes. You'd expect one of them to.
Yeah, I think Yuna at least.
Yuna will consider it, but Yuna played weird this round. So, who knows what she's got. Does selective breed in the end here? I don't know. My only problem with this is that you've already got 6 persuasions, so you're basically, like, hoping...
She has Jessica, right?
She has Jessica, I guess, so you're hoping to find it and get hold of the Spice's Flow. It's a 1 in 3. Away. It's not great odds, this. Signet Ring is going to be missed. She gets the Spiceless Flow, but she does... it's a bit of a pricey one. She finds it. If she doesn't find Lady Jessica or the other 2 persuasion card, like, she's in a lot of trouble here. So I think that was a risk for Nail. Like, it works and he finds the Spice Must Flow, but I would not suggest doing that as standard there. I think that was a bit of a gamble. Took a punt, but never mind. Anyways, Beast goes up and gets Smuggler's Thopter here. Very strong. Shiny turns up here.
Oh, I think we'll probably see smuggling from Hundro here.
I don't know. I mean, Hundro knows that Yuna's still to act here, and I think he kind of wants to... I don't know what Hundro wants to do here.
Grab the spice?
I mean, Haga Basin and just expediting is not terrible. But smuggling and expediting and just grabbing flagships, like, that's just a point, right?
That's just a point, yeah.
And it's a semi-final. I think you probably just got to do it, right? I mean, Hundro has his Swordmaster already. And he will be shipping more often, so money's less of an issue here. I think for me, it's smuggle and expediting, take flagships and kind of really put the market down. Get a point. You're threatening flagships, which is going to be pretty scary. And I would be scared that at some point, like, you're not going to be able to get... I mean, I guess he's also figuring next round he's first, so assuming he gets access to shipping, he's going to be able to grab flagship anyway, so maybe he doesn't have to do it now.
True.
So if that's the case...
But he does have How big's? Okay, it's one
He's only
card
got one
left.
card
Okay.
to draw, so
I saw all the triangle axes out already. It was
he's
a
gonna get
scary
his
he
high
wasn't gonna draw
council
it,
and
but
call it a day here. So I think Hundro's kind of hybriding here. Yuna can definitely take this combat if she wants, and she will do so.
and might even start pushing the Fremen alliance.
Yeah, there's a lot of
well
competition there. Fufi Habboot's found here. So Hundro happy to give it up. He's not worried. I mean, he knew that Yuna was going in like pretty much whatever he does. So I think Yuna's also got the Fremen bump, by the way, in her hands. So Helena finds Jessica for 10. Gets a little fortunate, I think. Took the chance and it worked off there. So point taken. Hundro reveals for 4. I guess he's taking Fadakin. And he does, to be replaced by the other Fadakin.
Nice. I always love seeing that.
And then Yuna's going to reveal for all sorts of stuff here. So a water, 2 Solari, a sword, an intrigue, and 4 to buy. Diversion found. It's
yeah, right after she goes already.
Well, she didn't even put in the 4 anyways. I think she might also go because of going for Dakin here to get some trashing going. Yeah, that's exactly what we see here. Bounty Hunter turns up.
Bounty Hunter.
That might be of interest to Yuna, but her deck is kind of big.
But yeah, she has a lot of.
I think she has to pass on this. I think it's nice to get, but I don't think it's big enough for Yuna. I think your deck is like already 14 cards. I think it's too much at this point. If you take it, you're starting to gamble your own deck here, and you're asking for problems. So I don't like it. I think you can. It's a bit expensive. So does pass. Hundro's happy with the intrigue and 2 Solari. Yuna's ready to go Swordmaster. Picks up Water of Life here, which is
pretty big,
pretty useful. Blackmail for Hundro is also pretty potentially good. And we're going to move on here. So finally, the first combat VP turns up. It is the Siege of Arakeen here. The money in second place and third place doesn't look very important anymore. So this is largely going to be a go for it or not. Beast with an absolute bucket ton of Solari. Hundro with shipping available, and surely he's got to take flagship here. Yuna finds in the shadows, but it's not active yet. Has no way of unloading it or anything like that, so...
No triangle axis for Yuna either.
I wonder if Yuna might Hardy Warriors again here, and then use the Fremen bump to grab the Alliance and get the water back.
Yeah,
it's a victory point combat. I don't hate the move.
Daggers.
It also gets diversion off as well.
She can't smuggle to set it up.
She has no she's got no shipping access, so it's not a good handy. It's not a great handy for Yuna, to be honest.
You are risking it.
I think you're just getting in front of the Fremen here. There's a lot of potential competition, which is scary. 100 does pick up the Haggar Basin Spice.
Oh, interesting. Lee's smuggling. Or, sorry, shipping.
Oh, he's expediting is why. He must be expediting. He's going to go up, and surely he's expediting, and he's cashing in for flagship. Yeah, that's exactly what we see here. So here it comes. He's going to use the put in some dudes. So flagship will be taken. No question about that. I'd be stunned. Oh, wow. He decides not to. He thinks well, he went high council, which I guess was maybe telegraphing restricted ordnance, but he's not going to worry about it. He's going to leave flagship there and assume he's going to get it later on. That is pretty ballsy. That's also terrible news for Helena to see this, by the way. That is really bad news. It's not great for Beast either. Wow.
Yeah, throw all 3 in.
Fascinating. So Hundro's taking his destiny into his own hands here. Hundro has taken the spice. Oh, no, he spent the 2 spice. My apologies. Not taking his resource yet. So I imagine he's gonna.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think I take flagship and then take Solari and throw in your troops with.
Yeah, I prefer that personally.
It's an extra point.
He takes the cash, so he must figure that he's gonna get. He reckons he's gonna get the flagship for anyone else here as well.
But maybe this is a late game strategy.
I don't know. This is curious. This is. I'd say this is less standard. Helena's got to threaten flagships here, right? I think she's got to figure, I just want to get this point and then turtle up and just get Spiceless Flows and my faction points and call it a day, right? I think think that's what we might see here. So Yuna's going to Swordmaster now, because Beast obviously doesn't have it yet either. Beast has Appropriate in his hand, though. Yeah, that's the problem as well as Hundro. Like, Beast just has Appropriate. He's going to pay 8 Solari for a victory point. Did he forget about that?
With all that Solari sitting there?
Yeah. I wonder if he forgot about that. Or maybe was hoping he just didn't draw it.
And he can also go like...
But Beast has Appropriate, and Beast surely is just going to appropriate and take Flagship. 8 Solari for a victory point is huge.
Yeah, well. So Helena.
Beast only going to have 2 actions here as well, so I'm curious to see what cards he's going to use here. But yeah, Appropriate's gotta be... It's got to be coming here short. In fact, he could even, as Beast, he could Appropriate Tech Negotiation to take Artillery on top as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking he might...
There's the Conspire from Helena, as mentioned earlier.
Go smuggling.
Swordmaster on the way. It seems the way confound. That's huge. Could also smuggle. I don't hate that. But I don't know. I mean, Beast has got options here. He's got more flexibility than it looks. Also, no one's gone into Stellar Shipping. What?
Yeah, shipping, that's what I was talking about.
Wow, no one's going to shipping here. Yuna decided to... Well, Hundro went for Haga Basin to get hold of Restricted Ordnance. And Yuna went for Swordmasters. Yeah, Beast, it's instead of shipping and Appropriate Flagship. Like, all day, right? It's got to be.
I might actually Interstellar Shipping with Appropriate.
That's what I mean, yeah. That's what I mean.
Okay,
do it with Appropriate with Interstellar Shipping and just get hold of Flagship. It's just a point. You've got to intercept a ship, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He's got Urgent Mission as well, which is huge as well. So, remember, Beast can double ship here again. We said earlier that he might not get another chance, but the players have gifted him a chance to double ship as well. So, Appropriate and Signet Ring, which means he can then use his Diplomacy as well. He's got Memo Corders to act here. He needs to get to work on the front here. So, yeah, I think it's Appropriate, it's Signet Ring, both to shipping, and then I'm diplomacying like the Fremen if I can, or something else. I think you've got to. Like, I mean, it seems insane not to, right? That's just me. Like, I would hate to see anything else here from Habboot. I think this is forced.
Yep.
I mean, this is absolutely forced.
You could also double ship with Dune and then use his ring to maybe get in this conflict.
He could, but I think he's going to be using his diplomacy here. He's got to get work on Memo Corders and stuff. So there it is. Flagship for 8 Solari. The absolute dream for Appropriate. Getting a point for 8 Solari. That is so ridiculous. Chalmurky turns up in the row. Beast might be interested in that too. I think he might consider getting that.
Half a point.
That looks very tempting here.
Pretty good.
So Beast up to 5. A massive gimme to the Beast here. Maybe they were just assuming that Beast was Yuna was going shipping, and it wasn't the case here. So Arakeen now for Hundro.
Draws a dagger, which is he gonna trash it?
Oh, he's I think he was intending possibly to trash a Doom card. I think was his original intention. Surely he's playing it to trash something, but it's kind of weird. I mean, you kind of want to keep the dagger, I reckon. I think I'd still trash a Doom card. I think you've got like Fadakin and such. I don't know, but you don't have a lot of use for the Council Axes anymore. The daggers aren't doing a ton. How often do you think you're getting a Spice Must Flow in this game? Also, Hundro has drawn miserably here, by the way. He did not want to see his dagger. Yeah. I think he wanted to hope to try and find a better card and then trash a Dune, but he's not drawn good at all here.
Yeah, he does have his High Council, so you could potentially see a Spice Must Flow at least one this game.
Yeah. So he does go to the Doom card, which which I don't hate. Yuna's up. In the Shadows is not active, by the way. Yuna's still got the option of going Hardy Warriors and Diversion, using Diversion here. The problem is for Yuna is that she doesn't really have... Like, she's got to use Water of Life probably before this is all said and done in order to have enough action to fill all her stuff, because she's only got Diplomacy, and that's about it here. So I think Yuna's going to have to use in the Water of Life here, I reckon.
Yeah, I water life to start this round.
So Water of Life will be played here. There are worlds where Yuna uses all 3 intrigues in this round, by the way. Signet Ring is found. Fufir is found.
Fufir.
But how is she ever getting Signet Ring off here? She'd have to go smuggling specifically.
Smuggle with Dufir.
Or even just divert, use Hardy Warriors and divert and cash in that way. And that would give Signet Ring action there. I don't know. Fufir is also there.
See, but if you smuggle first, you have the option to put even more troops in, right?
And this is true. And she might have intention of this
And
combat. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, smuggle first, and then Hardy Warrior's diversion looks pretty tasty.
and Helena already
But
used
she
her
gets in.
diplomacy.
No, she's Hardy Warrioring
Okay.
first here, so it's all going in. hjorth not going to wait around. Find assassination mission for the extra money here. There's the diversion. She would just take the bump up. Yeah, I wouldn't have hated that, actually. Smuggling first and then Hardy Warrioring afterwards. Because only one person can go Hardy Warriors currently, and that's Helena.
And she
And she's played her diplomacy. So, yeah, I think I prefer... Yeah, I think smuggling and then Hardy Warriors, I do think he's sharper. I do agree. I completely agree there. I can't lie at all.
Helena?
I like that move.
A Swordmaster?
Helena will get a Swordmaster of Infiltration. Helena wants to turtle up here. She wants to get hold of the Bene Gesserit point, the Spacing Guild point, the Sleep Must Awaken point, and 2 Spiceless Flows and call it a day is her plan. And I think Helena... And maybe she has... There are worlds, but she tries to get involved in Tier 3. She's also starting to garrison up as well, but she's not in a position to do it right now. So Beast is up. So I still think for me, it's the same move as Beast. I still think I repeat ship with the Signet Ring, and then I'm diplomacy something, or do it the way around. Is there anything you want to diplomacy immediately? Fremen, the steel suits looks really good here for Beast. I'm not gonna lie. Like that 2 extra, just putting a troop for 2 Solari. Because you've got appropriate, and you still need to get your Swordmaster, and High Council is also your secret forces, so you might be tempted to go down that route as well. You've got flagship too. So surely, I don't hate steel suits here. I think this does a lot of purposes for Beast.
Steel suits, though, and some troops with flagship.
I don't know if I'd be going into the combat. I think I would just steel suit and just put in one dude. And just take some money.
Maybe he figures he can surprise people with urgent mission.
He could, but he doesn't need to put in 2 troops. He doesn't need to put them all in. He might put in 2 to ward off Helena though, and does, which I don't hate. There are worlds where Beast still goes in for this. We'll see what happens. Hunjo's gonna use his dagger. Vicky's going Chow Murky. No, he's gonna go artillery instead here. This doesn't help him on the spot, by the way. This is for later on here.
No.
So Hunjo's arming up. Sonic Snoopers is next. Yuna's got 6 persuasion. Carfag it is. Yuna's going to keep throwing dudes in. Advanced weaponry is found, but she can't use it. She's got the money. Well, she used Recon and not the Signet Ring. Okay. And, well, she couldn't use it anyways. But yeah, now the more I'm looking at, yeah, like, smuggling first, then Hardy Warriors just, like, look really, really tasty. Maybe that was a trick missed here by hjorth. Helena's got an action. Smuggling, I guess, is there. You could Carfag as well, but it looks... Carfag looks kind of nasty now, right?
Yeah, like...
Siege, maybe? For just a load of water? Like, surely Helena just wants to keep a garrison for next round. And just hopes it's a victory point and just bows it.
Yeah, I think Siege is fine. You do need to get some spice for Sleeper.
Yeah. She's got to be...
also Research Station, of
Research
course.
Station, whichever one looks better at the time here. I think the Siege doesn't look bad. I think she's going to go Carfag, though. Like, Helena's have a fascination with hitting Carfag, like, every round sometimes. They just feel they've got to do it for those intrigues and infiltration. Like, oh, I must make use out of it, so... But I think, given you've got specifically Sleeper, I think for me it's Siege, looking to hit Great Flat, like, next round or 2. You're not going shipping. You've given up that ghost, so you've got to find your spice and resources elsewhere, which means you've got to do it the old-fashioned way, which is hitting Siege and then hitting mining spots. So I think it's Siege for me here. Drawing doesn't make a lot of sense. Smuggling, I guess you could do, but I don't feel like it's very effective. And you can smuggle.
Smuggling doesn't do enough for you.
I don't think it's that good, and you don't really have anything else to do here. I mean, she's looking at it. She has 6.
She can
she's
early
got
reveal for Grandma.
She could, but her deck's too big. Well, she's got 6 cards. She's also
11.
The problem is, I think she's thinking about.
And Jessica's in there.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is she can't Arakeen to Jessica and get Spiceless Flow. She's only got 5, so I don't think I'm drawing here. I think it's Siege. Save Jessica for next round. Get a Spiceless Flow with her, and then approach the round afterwards. Let's just go heavy on the combat. I think that's how I would largely proceed here. Seats for me. Well, this is risky.
Ooh, drawing.
If she's
that
going
1 in
here,
6.
she's going here specifically for Evan Mother Mahayim. And nothing else.
Yeah, but it doesn't do that much for you. Like, you're taking a risk for.
I think
one
she's
troop
trying to
that's
think of
gonna
some
be-
high rolling options where she manages to play Jessica or something, and they draw a load of cards, and then Mother Mahayim light slits a breeding. But it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think it's seats for me. I think this is the better option. I just don't think drawing's good enough.
Yeah, I don't think.
Besides, you can wait for your signet ring and just pull off Mahayim that way if she's still there. But I don't think Mahayim's that big for you here. I don't think it's that important. You can pick up Charney still and pick up more water this way anyway, so it is going to be seats here for now. And yeah, I honestly don't see any reason to throw any dudes in. Just leave them sitting there. There's no gun flopper. You took it out. They're in no danger here. Let them tire chunks out of each other. If Beast wants to go that heavy for 2 Solari, then let him go that heavy for 2 Solari. And if he's gonna throw dudes in, he's gonna throw dudes in. Is she maybe considering there might be some wow, Helena's gonna really do this? Doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what's she doing? She's like, in case someone's got staged incident or retreats or something? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, the Solari's not doing much for you other than Mentats right now, right?
So Beast has options here. Beast he's going to urgent mission. I think he's just going to double ship here. I don't think the board's good enough for him to go into for the combat, so just double ships with the signet ring. I don't think this is a shock.
Up, down.
He does go up, down. I think
Chalmurky.
Chow Murky is the move here.
Onyx Super, not be bad either, but I think the half a point is worth the 2 spice.
I mean, considering it's a semi-final, like, Chow Murky looks very inviting. And it is Chow Murky. So, 2 intrigues. Minimic turns up next here. Helena's going to look at that with great interest. She wants a piece of that. Ambush is found. Wow. Corner of the market is also found here for Beast. Well, that is an interesting card for come up here for Beast here.
Quarterfinal game.
He's not in a good spot to buy any spice though, and he'd have to realistically probably buy 2 spice must flows to get anything out of that. I don't think he's gonna do anything with that. I think he's just gonna say, well, at least I've got it, so no one else does. But I think given Helena is surely picking up a 2nd spice must flow at some point, like you'd be having to buy 2 spice to get anything out of corner of the market. I think that might just sit there.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be able to pull it off. It's already round 5.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna.
He does not have the deck for it. He doesn't have.
Yeah, I mean, you don't hate seeing it.
High council. No, of course not.
You don't hate seeing it. Did Beast put in his troops for
I didn't
signet ring?
notice. Let me check the log.
I don't think he did. Doesn't look like he did. Oh, here it comes. There we go. He's getting there. Does take his bump with the Fremen, so gets his point there. So he's at 2 persuasion and everything. So Beast has kind of sacrificed his alliance for his signet ring. He didn't bomb any alliances here. Fremen is still potential there. Ben Jesuit is there as well. So Beast has got decisions to make. But he went for money, so I can't see how he's ever going to call the market. So Hundro's going to reveal for 6 and take Mahayim. Kwisatz Haderach turns up! Oh, and Helena's really wishing she drew some cards now.
But she's gonna get a ring most likely, and her
Jessica. So
Jessica
it looks like it could be
round,
Kwisatz
so
Haderach coming here. This could be pretty entertaining. Yuna's up first though. Yuna's just gonna go secrets and just take the point. Windfall is found. She does get the bonus to that, so it's actually a pretty decent find for her. It's just free cash. It's not bad.
Not bad.
Helena is going to reveal for 5. I guess she's going Charney? I think she feels she has to.
Yeah.
Dr. Yue turns up in the row. So it's Kwisatz Haderach is dominating this now. Beast is going to pay for flagships here, and he's just going to garrison troops, so there's clear intention for next round.
Wow, that's a lot of troops.
There's a lot of troops. He's going to have to start...
I guess it is only round 5, so...
It's only round 5,
Good.
so he's going to... So Beast is getting ready to start shifting dudes here. Action is incoming. Yuna's now going to make a punt for this Bene Gesserit alliance using In the Shadows as well here. Yuna does not get Signet Ring off this round. Yuna's, surely she's got to consider using Know Their Ways, right? Oh my goodness me. Wow, Sayadina turns up here. It's only Yuna to reveal, though. I don't think she can use it, but I think she's going to grab it anyways.
He does have Water Peddler.
Does have Peddler to help, but I think she's still going to struggle to get a point out of that. So, 2 cash, some swords. Wow, Hundro can actually... Oh my god, Hundro can win this with blackmail. Does he go for it?
Wow. With 3 intrigues?
It's
behind?
risky, but it would work. And Yuna can do nothing about it. Wow, what a choice here for Heretic. It's bold, it's gutsy. But if it works, like, that is a massive loss to Yuna here. He might feel he's behind. He's only got 3 points. Maybe he might feel he might go for it here. Figures he's behind. He's got to take a chance.
Yeah, tough spot.
What a position here for Hundro Moritani. If he blackmails, he wins it. Does he do it? It would be brutal for Yuna here. It's an almighty gamble for Heretic. But it is there. Does he roll the dice? It's hard to... It's so hard to pull the trigger here. Like, it is so difficult to pull the trigger here, and he doesn't do so.
I would pass
So Yuna gets through on Weight of Intrigues alone. And that's all it is. Heretic will hate to watch this back and realize if he'd have played it, he'd have been good. But there's not much you can do about that. He's going to have a load of money as well now, which he's not really doing a lot with, which I also is the problem. What is he doing with 12 Solari?
Another VP conflict.
And the other VP conflict's doing terrible purpose, but now Helena's garrisoned, Beast is garrisoned, and I don't know. I fear Hundro's chance might be slipping away from him here. Maybe he might, I don't know. It's so hard to pull the trigger of the blackmail. Like, we can see the cards, we know he would have been good, but you can't sit there thinking you're good that often. Yuna basically bluffs him off the pot there, pretty much is what happened.
Yuna draws terribly here.
So, yeah, Heretic will look this back and he will hate to see that he would have been good there. That's a massive, massive point to not have. And I think Hundro's in trouble now this game. I really do think he's in trouble. He's going to be relying on powering through tier 3s now with restricted ordnance and artillery, but I don't know. He might be too slow.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. He does have a point hanging with the Emperor, but I don't think...
Yeah, Hundro's in trouble here. Anyways, terrible purposes the next combat as mentioned. Yuna's up first. Yuna has not drawn amazing, but, I mean, shipping and you just kind of work it out from there, right? She can use Fedaykin at some point to trash her to trash the assassination mission as well and get even more money. Yuna can absolutely roll in it. How Yuna's not played Know Their Ways, by the way, and not taken this point at the moment is insane to me.
That ended up working out. Big threat of intrigues. Down and up, I think.
Yeah, no, Yuna. I think Yuna wants is going to go for Mimic or Sonic Snoopers here. Well, she has to go for one of the two. I'm not sure which one she wants more. Mimic's kind of a Helena denial. But I think she's going Sonic Snoopers, and I think the Bene Gesserit bump tells the story. So she's going to just grab a load of intrigues, and she's going to trash tons of them, and is going to just hope it all works out. Favored subjects found, to the victors found. So I think we're going to see a ton of stuff get dumped here. She's got 2 faction bumps. They're both getting used.
I think, yeah, you keep those 2. You keep the...
Maybe Helena just uses both Favored and Know Their Ways, and just waits on Sonic Snoopers. Don't have to Sonic Snooper now.
Right.
I think for me, I'm using both Favored and Know Their Ways, and I'm holding on to Snoopers for later. Or you can just punt them all now, knowing, I mean, what you're going to do here. So I'm curious what Yuna's going to do. She can go either way. I think she's going to punt both. Yeah, use them both now. And Yuna's suddenly, all of a sudden, is at 8 points here, by the way. Out of nowhere.
Has 3 alliances.
Yuna Moritani has 3 alliances. It is completely ridiculous. So the players have to stop this. They've got to do something about this situation. They've got to challenge these alliances. This is barren levels of absurdity. And it's in the table's interest to stop her. Like, again, second place is the runner-up playoff, which is nice, but you're here for the grand final. And you're here for that $500 top prize here, so it is well in the player's interest to stop Yuna here. Nuclear heat is incoming, surely.
Well, it looks like Helena missed missed the 5 out of 6, and Jessica is
our last card to draw, which is a thing. She can draw whenever she wants at Arakeen, so it's not a disaster.
Yeah. Arakeen, ring off Kwisatz.
Maybe this is better this way. Helena perhaps wants to only draw the one card and save Jessica for next round. She has 7-8 persuasion. If she Arakeens against Jessica, she'd be up at 10, but she really wants Minimic as well. You could Minimic.
She also needs Spice for Sleeper.
She does, but I think she's going to figure... I'm just going to grab Minimic, and I'm going to go Arakeen with my Liaison and draw Jessica and call it a day. And then next round, just go Great Flax. I'm not shipping. I think that's what we're going to see here. And she can always Great Flat on the way here, but I think Helena is going to go Minimic here. She's going to go Minimic, and she's going to Liaison to Arakeen, grab Jessica, and if it works out, she'll Dune either now or later, depending on what happens. I think that's what we'll see from Helena. Because no one can stop her from doing it, and people like safety. You know, people like to take, when they're making these paths, they're making paths that no one else can interfere with, and Helena is, you can't stop her from doing any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I suspect that's what we'll probably see Helena. Beast can get his Swordmaster now, by the way, and of course no one else can stop him, which means that Beast, with all this money, should actually be hitting Mentat more. He's got Smuggler's Thopter as well. I think Beast might well smuggle with Smuggler's Thopter just to get access to it. She goes Arakeen first. Okay. Interesting. I think I would have grabbed Minimic first, but maybe she's not bothering with it. So troops are going to start going in. Interesting to see what Beast is going to do here. Does he grab Swordmaster? Does he grab Mentat? Does he smuggle? I think for me, I'd be grabbing Mentat first.
Yeah, I think Mentat's fine here.
You obviously want to double jaw with Smuggler's Thopter, but you're going to have options, and even just going Imperial Basin and putting 2 troops in via that is totally fine here. I think Mentat is for me. But you've also got Flagship, which obviously you're conscious about. There's a lot going on for the Beast here.
Goes High Council?
He could High Council now, but the only other person that could High Council is Yuna. And how often is Yuna High Counseling? As we know at the moment, she cannot High Council.
Yeah, I like Mentat here.
I think Mentat gives you some flexibility. When in this situation, when everyone else has got your Swordmaster, you want to be hitting Mentat. And you can always threaten... I can always go Swordmaster as the stall if you really need to. And I wouldn't consider Swordmastering potentially, depending on yours, but yeah, Mentat for me all day. Yeah, and Habboot sees it. Picks up G-Manipulation. This is not bad. So Hundro's up. Hundro has not drawn great here. Hundro with 8 Persuasion. I wonder if Hundro might go Minimic here. Hundro, for sure, he's got to get a spice. He's got to get a spiceless flow point. I think we might see him. I don't know what Hundro's going to do here, though. The players again. Unit is just sitting there on 8 victory points. Like someone somewhere has got to stop this.
There's not really much anybody can do right now. I
mean, they've got to start making moves here. Oh, Signet Ring was played and wasn't acted on yet. That's an error here. So yeah, has to do it. No, that's fine. So power play's done. I wouldn't have affected Beast at all. So, yeah, power play put to the side of the reservation of the ring. Yep, we've got about that. Replaced by the other power play. Twice we've seen that now. First it was for Dakin, now it's the power play. Very good.
That's funny.
I mean, the thing is, you can argue no one's in position, but someone's got to make this first step here. Like, if the players just don't do anything, Unimoritani and hjorth goes through to the final. Like, they have to collectively decide, we have to stop this. Surely they've got to, like, that's just how it is. Like, if no one does anything, none of them are going to the final here. Unit's just going to win this game. They have to stop this. And if everyone goes for these alliances, like, Unit can't defend all of them. And there are worlds, potentially, where Yuna, like, they don't know what intrigue she's got. She's got Sonic Snoopers. There's worlds where she finds her way to 10 victory points this round. They don't know. They've no idea what she's got. If she snoops and finds like Chom shares and stage instant, the game's over.
Wow, that'd be insane.
That would be insane, but they don't know. Like, Sonic Supers, anything can happen. Hunjo's going to go Dreadnoughting instead, which I don't hate, so he's not worried about the Spiceless Flow this round. Again, Hunjo feels like he's got to win it in combat now. I think he feels like he's left it too late. Is he going Training Drones? Doesn't bother with any techs at all. So he's keeping his options open for Highliner. I think he's looking to try and win this combat, and he's Highliner in next round. I think that's what he's looking at here.
Yeah, true. He doesn't use the dagger because dagger's like 2 swords.
I would have considered buying like Minimic just to try if Spy Satellite turns up. And here we go. Now Carfac it is. Cannon turrets is found. A disaster for Hundro. And here comes the and here it comes. Does she dump the lot here? She's not worried about the Dreadnought. She's dumping the whole lot here.
I might Dreadnought, honestly. No. I think I would Dreadnought go for this combat, especially with.
So Cole is found. Bindu is found. Stage instant. There's one.
There's one.
There's one. The players have to stop this. If they don't, they're all out. It's as simple as that. Who's going to make the first attempt to try and do anything about this? If they don't, there's stage now, so that's 9. So if the Huna Moritani can find a 10th point here somehow, the game's just over. I don't know how she's going to find it, but...
She can find her signet ring. With Bindu.
Yeah.
Go somewhere.
Oh no, she trashes in the shadows to protect here. That's how comfortable Yuna's feels right now. Yuna feels completely at ease and is not scared at all.
Is he gonna call? Okay. Yeah, call the dagger.
They're gonna call the dagger here.
Bindu, draw
like
ring,
yeah.
End the game 6 rounds.
Potentially
1 in 8.
Be nuts. So yeah, I mean it's the daggers going, but I mean they have to find it. It's Bindu. It's a draw, and
1 in 8.
1 in 8. They just win the game at the moment, unless someone does something about this.
I would love to see that.
But no one looks like they're making any attempt to try, and this is kind of ridiculous. But who knows? The problem is, as well, is that if this game ends this round, you have no idea who's going to come second place here.
She also has another out. Oh, no, she doesn't.
No, she's got to find a signet ring.
She would have had to...
And she's looking at her deck here, so Yuna just figures, like, 1 out of 8, she just wins the game currently. Secret's taken for Yuna here.
So the other out would have been to trash Water Peddler. Gives you another water. Draw Sayadina. And Sayadina to skill suits for the point.
That was also an option there, but went this way. So, 2-card draw with Jessica, as that being played. Finesse has been found. She has Diplomacy. But again, there's no way for her to steal any alliances here. She needs a third bump, and she hasn't got it. So... the wait continues. Who is going to do something? Someone has to do something here, surely. It seems insane for no one to make any action here.
The only thing they could try is to steal the alliance, but there's I don't see any way.
I mean, it's going to take effort, but if no one takes any of Yuna's alliances, she just wins the game. And that's it, right?
High Council.
High Council for Beast. Secret Forces being readied.
Yeah, Beast thinks he could, or probably will win this conflict. With Ambush.
So Hundro's next. Hundro's Steel Suits doesn't look bad. But he's going Siege.
Getting the water. Yeah, needs the extra firepower, he reckons.
Hardy Warriors looks like he's being threatened here. Hundro feels like he's got to win this combat, and as Beast, I'm like, I have no issues in winning this combat. I'm staying the hell away from this. Beast also has 7 persuasion, so Smuggler's Fopter, like, you can pick up Spiceman's Flow here. I think that might be the intention. Even just Imperial Basin or Smuggling, both are fine. So here we go. Yuna Moritani, 1 out of 8, she just wins the game on the spot, right?
She has Diplomacy also. Right? So she can hit Diplomacy.
Yeah, Diplomacy also there. So 1 out of 4, she just wins the game.
1 out of 4.
Hjorth thinks they've misplayed, but surely...
a slight misplay because I think
I don't
Stilson's
think so.
was
Like,
better out, but
I mean,
it's fine. I
even
think
if
this
they've
works.
even if they've misplayed 1 out of 4, they just get there and win.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what they think they've done wrong. Maybe they were thinking Sardina, but here we go. Bindu suspension, 1 out of 4. Do they find it? Fufir is found. It's good enough, and that's it. It's over. It's just over.
We forgot about Dufir.
And Fufir as well, and that's it. It's just over.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And Unamortani just strolls into the grand final. Can you believe this?
Amazing.
And that's it. And there's nothing the players can do. It's all over. Unbelievable.
Hail Mary, Tarthag or something to
and they've got to be
double cross.
considering and thinking, well, this could well be over here.
Double cross, that's the only thing.
But yeah, Sonic Snoopers and Stage Incident. I mean, you could argue it's lucky for Yuna, but I mean, ultimately, she took 3 alliances and no one made any attempt to challenge her. You're just going to win games when that happens here. So this is now a fight for second place in the run-up playoff here now. That is what this now is. So now I wonder if Beast is going to throw everything in now. Seeing what's happening, thinks the game might be over and thinks, I've got to get this point to get into the run-up playoff. But Helena has 8 persuasion. So does Unamort, she's got options here. She could go to Great Flat to get more troops in and just cash in Seed Must Awaken. She could go Tech Negotiation to get the Spiceless Flow that way. I don't think it hugely matters which way around she goes here. You might as well put in more troops, I think.
Yeah, Great Flat and then Finesse. Get more troops. I think that's your only...
Helena doesn't think it's over. Maybe Helena's thinking, I'm going to go Hardy Warriors and just win it on the field. But with Sleep Must Awaken, you feel like you've got to take the point here, right? And if she goes Diplomacy, she's never getting it. I don't think Helena thinks this game's going to end. But surely after hjorth says I've misplayed like that, you've got to think that they were trying to end the game here. Yeah, I think that's a tell. I think that's hjorth saying, I'm going to try and win this game right now. And once Fufir comes off and gets insta-played to wealth like that, like, I've got to be sitting thinking it's over. Wow. Crazy. Fascinating to know what you guys will make of this when you watch this. Like, maybe, are we being... I don't know, are we being slightly harsh to the other 3? Maybe, but Yuna was not challenged at all here. Yuna played the role of the Baron, and no one did a damn thing about it. No one made any attempt to challenge. Beast never went for an alliance anywhere, which meant that Yuna had a much more cleaner route. And I wouldn't even argue saying the initial shipping for Yuna is what got her here. Like, it was useful, but she didn't get access to it for very long. She got, like, 1 bonus ship out of it. But yeah, hjorth's just sitting there and just knows the game's over. And he's in the grand final. Crazy. I think it's starting to dawn on Helena, and she realizes, I've got to score as many points as I can right now, and how am I going to do that? She's looking at Hardy Warriors. She figures she's got 4 swords in hand, 5 swords in hand, but Hunter's got an action to go, and Beast is sitting there with flagships.
Yeah.
That's all very scary, and they both could get to Hardy Warriors. I think
But maybe this is the only play. Like, if Helena thinks that it might go another round, she needs this point here, and she needs to save the Sleeper Must Awaken for later.
I don't know. I mean, it depends. It really depends. Does Helena think the game goes another round or not? Or does she think that Yuna's got this one? Which she does. The match is over. Man, unbelievable. That's what it comes down to here. But unfortunately, if Yuna thinks the game's going another round, she might well not find her space. She is going to barrel in here. She's going for it. It's got to be Hardy Warriors. The only thing that makes any sense here, right? Like, what else is she...
Hardy Warriors...
What else is she doing
gives
here?
You 6 troops if you finesse.
Oh, she can also finesse down and up, yeah, with the Emperor here. So I think she's just going to go all in for this combat and just deny it to the other players. Looks like that's what's going on here. But yeah, she can down and up with finesse and get the 2 extra troops with the Emperor here, which is always really nice here, so... and she does have enough in her garrison to do it. So, finesse comes in. That's going to be 18 strength, and that's going to be good enough. Depending on what Hundro does. But Hundred's not got access to cities. Hundred can't put any more troops in.
Maybe they think they need finesse to try to steal the Fremen Alliance later.
I don't know. We're about to see what Helena does here, but in her interest, she needs to finesse right now. Because this game is over.
Is 18 even going to be enough? Because...
But if she finesses up and down and strategic push and dagger, it's 21 strength. I don't see how Beast is going to get to 21 strength. Like, it's sitting in Helena's spot. Now, he's got ambush and he's got secret forces. But he's got no city access. It's all gone. He does have flagship, though. So flagship would be 6. Secret forces is 10. 2 garrisons is 14. Ambush is 18. That's not enough. If she goes all in, she will win this point, and she'll get to 7.
I was trying to see if Hundro had a chance.
Oh, she's rethinking it. She's thinking, I'm not going to go Hardy Warriors here. She takes it back. She's going steel suits? What's going on here?
No, she took the bump down, so she's probably not going Fremen.
She's just going to take the safe spot, to save spice here at Minimic. I think is what's going to happen. Yeah, she's taking the safe point is what she's doing. Yeah, just taking the save point here. So Helena is hoping this game goes another round, is what's going on here. But it's not. Wow, look at this. Helena's going to tech negotiation, but she's not putting... she's not actually taking Minimic, which means she knows it's game over. Wow, look at that. That's insane. I think this is a block against Hundro. In case Hundro, like, somehow can manage to get Spicer's Flow, she's going to block Minimic.
Yeah.
That's all that's going on here.
The spaceport thing. But, I mean, he's only at 3 points.
So, Beast just goes Smuggler's Thopter to Imperial Basin and just dumps troops in and is going to take this down.
Needs to draw some daggers. Oh, he doesn't have any.
No, but it's a Spiceman's Flow.
2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So Habboot is playing for... so it's going to be 7 in total. All 5 in the bowl, plus 2 more. So that's going to be 18 strength with the ambush. Now, fascinatingly, if Hundred reveals now, with Blackmail, he's good. But if he takes an action, he can't win the combat. Can you believe that? Hundred doesn't realize it, but he is effectively...
He can go Hardy Warriors now, right?
Oh, he's Hardy Warriors, of course, is still there because of Helena. Yeah, that's my apology. So,
next to 2.
So yeah, Yuna's gonna win, and Nail is gonna find himself in the runner-up playoffs with 7 victory points, and that's it. It's just over. It's just completely over.
Wow, is it really gonna be a Solari tiebreak? Or
no, Helena's gonna get 7 points. Oh yeah, Beast is gonna get the 7 points as well.
It's going down to 1 Solari tiebreak.
Oh, no. Beast is going to get the spice from 2nd place, though.
So is Yuna for 3rd. Or, sorry, so is Helena for 3rd.
Wow. So that's it. That's why Helena didn't get involved. Hoping that she's saying, well, I can't stop an alliance here, so needs Hundro to do it, but Hundro doesn't have it. He's got the complete opposite. But you weren't winning this. I mean, if you'd gone all in, you would have won the conflict. It was a point either way. Oh my god, yeah, you're right. Is Habboot going to go through on a Solari?
1 Solari.
That is crazy. Wow. A wild semi-final, this. A wild semi-final. And Helena realizes she's in trouble. And the brutal thing is, yeah, that's correct. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. Yeah, that's totally good here. Bounty Hunter is taken by Heretic. It doesn't matter. Stage incident comes. The game is over.
Heretic could kingmake here by not playing Blackmail.
I mean, he could, but I don't think he will do. That's it. It's all over. Hjorth goes through to the final. That's as easy a run to the final as you're ever going to see.
Round 6.
Helena might as well throw strategic push, although there's not really any point. Like, she knows it's all over here. Needs Hundro to win or Beast to win and someone to demand respect here, but they must know it's all over here. Beast might as well ambush. No reason not to. Now, what's going on here? I think they're going to have a conversation here. And he's going to ask his heretic, does he have demand respect? Because if not, he will not play. I think that's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah,
it's basically, I think Green is basically saying, Green's basically asking, it's a real awkward spot here. So Green is basically asking if Yellow has demand respect.
No, you don't listen to Red, because if he doesn't, then you're
yeah, that's the thing. So this is an awkward spot. So if Red wants to play ambush, because he figures if he wins, he knows he's good.
This is where the tournament dynamic comes in play here.
Yeah, so this is where it comes here. So Habboot's in a weird spot here. So Habboot is basically thinking, I need to play for second. So if he goes for the combat and wins it, he's good. So I think this is where Habboot, is in an unfortunate spot here. He kind of doesn't. He kind of wants. He figures if the game goes on, is he still going to win this match? And he figures he's not going to. Then he plays ambush. Obviously, the intention is Hundro. Obviously, if Hundro's got demand respect, the game goes on here. But Habboot plays ambush and says screw it. Now Hundro does have blackmail anyway, so it didn't matter. It was all irrelevant in the end. It didn't make a difference.
If Hundro didn't play, then Helena would have gone in, but
yeah, but no, it was it made no difference. But I totally get what Habboot was thinking there. But it's all irrelevant. I think he goes through on. He's going to go through on a Solari regardless, though. So hjorth goes through to the final. There's no intrigues to be drawn here, and hjorth just waltzes through to the next round.
My hand was this, or this was my deck. These 7 cards.
Yeah.
I think your intention was originally to
trashed
side D, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I shouldn't have trashed. Yes, exactly. That's what I realized. I should have trashed the water pattern.
And kept in the shadows as an option, yeah.
Yes, because then I could have
another out as well.
Yeah, you had a lot
you would
of
have had
options.
like 6 cards to draw that would have gotten you an extra point.
But instead, you had 3.
Yeah, but I was
still
lucky.
Yeah, you still got there though. I mean, there's a lot to break down this game. Obviously, again, congrats and make it to the final. Yeah,
Thank you.
3 alliances. No one bothered challenging. Easy game, right?
Yeah.
I jest slightly.
I mean, how are we going to challenge? It was very, very hard to challenge.
Yeah, she kind of played the role of Baron, didn't she?
I never had the chance to challenge here with the Spice Smugglers. It was always like, I can't play this. If I play this, I'm gonna lose when I lost anyway. So
yeah, no, you weren't in too much. It was kind of difficult because of course you pull memo quarters early, and it's like you kind of want to spread out the influence. Of course, as Beast, it's obviously nice to try and get hold of the try and find the alliance, but obviously your deck wasn't ideal for it. Like there's not a lot of faction stuff going on, so you know it was one of those ones where it's like everyone was I think was maybe just waiting for someone else to do it, and then of course no one ever did.
I mean, I think we never found like who was in charge of challenging what alliance, and that was hard. But anyways, we didn't have any access, so
no, it was going to be difficult. It's going to be tricky. Like I totally get that.
Yuna had the access and the intrigues.
Yeah, Yuna finding the Emperor and Fremen intrigues was pretty significant.
And Nail, Helena, who was the only one with a power play, it was spent very early, so
yeah, just on Emperor and just called it a day, which was Yuna was never going anywhere near, so the path was wide open. Definitely. We'll quickly talk about obviously what happened at the end there. Obviously a bit of a weird spot. It didn't matter in the end, obviously with blackmail, but obviously it's kind of the weird spot of like if you don't think you can win, you got to go for second, and obviously second. If you want second, then you're kind of just like trying to get the game over ASAP. It's a weird spot to be in, but it's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay. Cool. Well. Congrats, hjorth.
No, that trick fishing got him the game.
Yeah, Sonic Snoopers was big.
That was wild.
Yeah, Sonic Snoopers, but it was there to punt for. And obviously that found state incident. As I think with Sonic Snoopers, like weird stuff can happen.
When I took the Chomurky, I could have taken the.
Did you
the Spring
have an
Silvers.
intrigue to beat me on this combat?
Yeah, I beat you on that.
Oh
like,
yeah, by the way,
4 or
Heretic,
something.
if you'd have blackmailed the last conflict, you would have won. You can't ever play it. Like, you can't know you're good, but you actually would have been good.
Because yeah, it
But
was
what
like
had
one
you-
strength difference. Tiebreaker, like
Yeah, no,
for
and there's all sort of
blackmail,
intrigues, but
that's
yeah, if you'd have blackmailed there, you would have won. But how do you ever play it? Like, you can't do. Like, it's
yeah, he
it's-
had
Oh
two
yeah,
intrigues,
yeah, because I
it's
held
like
all my
blackmail.
intrigues there.
yeah, yeah, it's basically
Mhm.
bluffing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the way it kind of played out. Like, I mean, I'm sitting there.
Actually, I was debating it. I was gonna play it, but I thinking like if
Yeah,
one
obviously it
tiebreaker
sucks
just-
if you play it and it doesn't work. But the problem is, it's like obviously you get 4 Solari. It's like, what are you doing with it? But
No, if I had a free bump, I would do it. But
yeah, at that
the
point it was
problem
also
that I
costing
was
you.
behind.
Yeah, it was costing
I
you.
was a lot of behind, and it was costing me a point practically.
Right.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. So
Also, the second round, Habboot had Master Tactician and decided not to play it.
yeah,
to
I was
win the
curious. Yeah, I
conflict.
thought you were going to barrel it immediately when the Hardy Warriors came in, but you got it in the next round anyways, which I think was
Is the fact that he didn't play it then what made you decide to go in for the Solari one, Heretic?
I actually wanted to deny Solari from the table.
yeah.
Yeah, I
wanted
actually
to deny everyone the Sword Master if possible. That's why I
in
did.
that combat, it was the difference between playing it or not. It was just one Solarian, I mean one Spice and one Intrigue, and I only needed 5 for the Shadow Fleet, which was what I needed.
Yeah, that's what you
at
were
that time.
targeting. Yeah, I was thinking you want to deny it, but then I looked at it, I was like, well, you're after Shuttle Fleet. You don't need the Spice at the time, so you can.
Yeah, the other Spice was not necessary at the moment, so I thought the Tactician would have something better to do later, and it actually did.
Yeah.
But the problem was that the next turn, I needed to draw green axis and yellow axis, and I only drew my ring.
Yes.
So
Right,
at
yeah, I
that
remember
turn, I could have
That was
done
when you first had the urgent mission, I think, at that point.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, but I needed to go shipping and then Sword Master because I was also denying Yuna the Sword Master that round by winning the combat, the Solari combat. So I needed both, but I didn't get them. So
No,
the
only way was to
Master.
the only way was to like go into shipping and then Arakeen and get hold of your Doom card or whatever else, something like that. I can't quite remember how it worked. No, that might have been a later turn, but yeah, I know. I think I know roughly what you mean.
No,
Sorry.
It was that turn, but there was no way to get Sword
Yeah,
Master.
it was just awkward.
You-
It was an open.
Yeah,
it was a
but
weird
I-
opening round. Helena, the only person with like any real faction access as well. First round was a bit weird. Don't see that often.
I mean,
I had to Arakeen for it, I think.
I mean, my last 2 games, I've had the same hand with no access and no ring, and it sucks because you have a terrible hand first round, and second round you have everything, but you don't have enough agents. So it really sucks.
yeah, it
Like,
does make
that
the next
opening
round
is
a bit
terrible.
awkward. There's no question about that. But I mean, you still got memo callers out of it, and you got some money, so it wasn't a disaster. And ultimately, as I say, I mean, obviously it was an all over the place game, but yeah, getting through to the run up playoff on a coin is kind of crazy.
No, I have Chomurky.
Oh, you got Chalmurky as well. Yeah, of course. That's a good
Oh,
point. Yeah,
right,
it didn't
we forgot
matter.
about
Yeah, of
Chalmurky.
course. Yeah, Nail desperately needed it to go longer then, and basically just hoped it would be the case. Yeah, I forgot you had Chalmurky. We're looking at things. You got to win by coin, but yeah, it didn't matter in the end. It's
Also,
good.
if you want, you can have this.
Yeah, call on the market.
Oh, thank you so much.
Call on the market. Yeah, by the time Beast drew it, though, it was kind of too late to do anything with it. So
Yeah.
Like I was set up to get next conflict for sure.
yeah, you were just barreling for the tier 3s, but you needed the game to go on was the problem, and unfortunately, it just
Yeah,
never
indeed.
transpired.
And I was afraid of that. It's gonna end on 6th round.
Yeah, which is exactly how it broke down. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I hate round 6 wins.
Right?
They feel like you never had a chance. Like,
Well,
You have to
Terrible.
get lucky with intrigues. for 6th round win.
I don't know.
No,
I
but it's
mean,
fine.
you guys are
You
watching
mentioned-
this back, I'm sure, and everyone will be
Like-
watching the video, and I'm sure people will point out things that maybe could have gone differently. But it's usually I tend to find with the 6th-round finishes, it's not just one thing that causes it. It's a combination of factors that tends to result in a 6th-round finish. Usually speaking.
no, of course. Yeah. I was always like one step behind of trying to challenge an alliance. Like, I said, first I was going for spacing.
Yep.
Then Yuna overtook spacing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Then it was
then
Bene Gesserit.
I'm changing to Bene Gesserit. She gets
In the shadows.
In the shadows.
Yeah.
So then I said, okay, so Fremen is not being fought. I went to Fremen, and then she got the extra bumps.
Yeah, she had that extra bump for the Fremen actually for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Found that very
So
early.
yeah.
Yeah.
Every alliance that I tried to start chasing, she had me covered.
Yeah,
So,
and it's
so
difficult to keep committing to the same alliances now. Like you got spice smugglers, you can like maybe have a crack at it, but it's like it feels like you're hurting your own game in order to get through.
By the time I realized that I could actually challenge the spacing guild and like go back like 3 decisions ago,
yeah,
it was too late. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, but I suppose you'll settle with the runner-up playoffs. I mean, it's better than a kick in the teeth, right?
Of course, yeah, it is something. Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much for the games. It was a fast one, but good one.
Yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Okay,
Thanks,
cool.
guys.
Congrats,
Great game.
Hjorth.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And that will do it for us for this game here. Yeah, Hjorth finds his way into the next round, got in front, never looked back, and I guess I don't know. It's hard sitting here like. No one challenged Yuna, but I guess the question is, was there really a huge means to be able to challenge her? I mean, it kind of was and it kind of wasn't. The problem was it needed to be like a collective effort, and the problem is you just don't really... Dune is not a game that happens a lot. You don't really get situations where like the entire table decides to just stop one person. It's very rare to see that happen. I mean, obviously there was a bit at the end there, considering what was going on with the whole bit with the combat there and like basically trying to let the game go on. But yeah, like Habboot just reckons that even if the game goes another round, he doesn't think he can win the match, so he's just going to play for his second place finish and get through to the run-up playoffs. And you know, that's how tournaments go, and I definitely don't hate that at all. I think that we'll look back at this and think there's definitely chances for Yuna to be slowed down. She definitely high rolled on intrigue, there's no question. Finding a couple of influence bumps, obviously Sonic Snoopering and finding stages. But that's the thing, Sonic Snoopers, you can find wins out of absolutely nowhere. You know, Stage Instant would have got them there. Choem Delegate would have got them there. There was definitely a few intrigues that would have got there. Obviously some endgame stuff as well. Plans Been Planned was just a point on the spot. Obviously it's endgame, mind you. But yeah, no, definitely ran pretty well at that. But I think, you know, once they got ahead, like, they just kind of got so far ahead that no one really had the ideal, wanted to stop them. Helene wanted to go long, but was hoping someone else would stop it. Beast kind of didn't really want to bother stopping it, was happy for second, they didn't think they could win it. And then Hundro had largely just decided he was just going to try and win it on tier 3 conflicts in hopes the table sort itself out, which is not what happened at all. Fascinating game, though. Very interesting to watch. I'm curious to see what you guys will make of this one. But Hjorth will make his way to the grand final on March 19th. And the Beast will be in the run-up playoffs on the 18th. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like what we do, of course, you can support the channel and all that lovely good stuff. Take care of yourselves, everyone. We will see you in the remaining semi-finals getting played over the next couple of days. So we will see you in the next conflict.